So just a quick update on the Impala. I've managed to get the top side of the hood over here put in high build primer, and the other thing I did over the weekend was I resprayed some of these internal parts, like these wheel housings over here. They were in a matte black, or semi-gloss black I should say, but I didn't like them, so I've redone them in a high gloss black, which is not period correct, I know, but I just think it looks a lot better. Be nice when that big 348 comes out and all of that gets redone as well. So the thing that prompted me to respraying the underside of the hood here and the wheel covers, and I'll end up doing the fan shroud and that sort of thing, was basically that I'd originally done this in a semi-gloss black, and I didn't have enough thinners in the mixture. So when it was finished and dried, it just looked like there were spiderwebs running across the actual paint job, and it was very rough to the feel. So obviously I didn't prepare it correctly, which is a lesson for not doing a test patch before actually spraying, but that's what I did. But I'm glad I redone it now. I ended up rubbing it back with 600 wet and dry, and putting 3 coats of a high gloss black in acrylic lacquer, and 3 coats of super clear as well. So it actually turned out really nice and super smooth as well. Same with the air cleaner, redid that as well. So here's my radiator support panel, fan shroud, and this top panel over here that sits on top of the radiator support. I'm going to redo all of these in a high gloss black. Now I'm going to rub it all back with 600 wet and dry, and you can't really see that, but you can certainly hear how rough. It's a fairly rough texture, so again, it's not going to end up being the period correct semi-gloss black or matte black, whatever it was. So it's going to be a high gloss, but I just think it's just going to look a lot prettier under the hood when the whole thing's done. So just after using some 600 wet and dry, I can actually feel this a lot smoother. You can hear it. It's not quite as rough sounding as before. So I've cleaned up all of these parts, the fan shroud and the horns and the top panel over here. So I've kind of created twice as much work for myself by doing this, but I'd rather do it in high gloss. So here's what I'm using for my high gloss black. See this stuff here, it's jet black. It comes out very glossy straight out of the gun, but I've also got myself a small tin here of super clear. I don't think I'm going to be using this on the radiator support and that sort of thing. It's not too important under the hood, but I did use it on the wheel covers, and they come out with a real shine to them. I mean, they're a big black part, so I really wanted that to stand out. But the hood I didn't. The hood's just straight off the gun. So that's come out nice and shiny. So that's it. Those extra little front bits have been resprayed in a high gloss black. So I'm pretty happy with the way that's turned out. And I'll just let that dry now, put that back in the car, and then next thing I'll do for this weekend that I've got saved up is to put the roof here in a high build primer. That's just an etch primer at the moment. I've got to get some seam sealer in these channels as well before I do that, of course. And you can see the hood's already been done. Okay, so now it's time to put some high build primer on the rooftop here. I'm going to get the doors all coated. I've got the front doors over there ready to go. So I'm sort of doing this in bits and pieces. It's not ideal. I should be doing the whole car like this, but I've still got to save up and get some panels here. I've got to get my rear quarter panels. I need a boot floor that goes in there. I've got to do some repairs around the back. So I'm just going to cover what I've put in an etch primer in a high build primer now, so I don't have to worry about this getting moisture in it and starting to rust up. So I'm just going to get all that out of the way. The front's already pretty much done. So now what I've got to do here is I've got to get some seam sealer down these channels. So I've just got myself some seam sealer here. Just got a new tube. Just get a fair amount of that coming out. Okay, so the seam sealer's going in those channels fairly nicely. Now this particular seam sealer is about a 2-hour drying time before I can start painting over the top of that, so that's nearly there. So I've just got to get some wax and grease remover on this roof skin here and just clean this up a little bit. So this is it pretty much for now. I've got the roof put in a high build primer. The hood I did the other week. I've got the trunk lid done on both sides in high build primer, and all the doors done as well, inside out. Of course, I'm saving the worst of it till last. Well, I think this is the worst of it anyway. This whole rear end, this lower valance panel over here is going to have to be completely replaced. I need a boot floor. That's the next thing I've got to save up and buy, with the quarter panels of course. So it is slowly making its way there.